Only a quarter of those who said they voted Liberal Democrat at the election would still vote for the party now. That's according to a survey out this morning from the polling organisation YouGov. It was commissioned by the independent website Liberal Democrat Voice to find out what's happened to the party's support. Well, I'll be speaking to party leader Nick Clegg at 8:10 this morning. We're joined now, though, by the co-editor of Lib Dem Voice, Mark Pack. Good morning.
Morning.
When you look at this survey and you hear what's being said in the party, what are the challenges for Nick Clegg in the year ahead?
The big issue, undoubtedly, is the economy, both because it's the most important to the public and voters out there, but also when I talk to party members, the issue that comes up most often where they want to see a clear Liberal Democrat influence on the government is on the economy. So, for example, when we see the budget coming up in a couple of months' time, is it a budget that people feel is really George Osborne doing simply what he wants to do? Or is it a budget that sees a stronger Liberal Democrat influence in terms of making the country fairer or greener?
And what sort of policies would be in there that would tick that box?
Speeding up the move towards having a £10,000 basic income tax allowance absolutely would take millions of more people out of tax and would very much be the sort of move towards a fairer tax system that a lot of Liberal Democrat members are looking for. But also issues around environmental taxation in particular, where George Osborne made some quite negative noises around the time of the autumn statement. But it's an issue that's important to Liberal Democrat members because it's also important to the future of our society.
Quite difficult, though, with so little money around in a way. Is there the feeling that the austerity is biting unfairly and that feeling is perhaps more keenly felt among Liberal Democrats?
Given the severity of the economic challenges a lot of people around the country face, I think it would be a little inappropriate to sort of, put the fate of an individual party too high in the list of priorities. But it certainly is the case that when there isn't huge amounts of money to spare, you do have to be really clear about your priorities. And that's why I think the budget will be particularly important, because we're not going to see a big giveaway budget, but how much of a Liberal Democrat set of priorities is seen in the budget is an open question.
The fact that only a quarter of those who said they voted Liberal Democrat at the last election would do so now, I mean, it's really remarkably stark, given that, the whole aim of a party is to get into government. They have got into government, and here they are suffering because of that.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the ironies that there have been more Liberal Democrat policies implemented in the last year than in the rest of my lifetime put together, and yet politically the party isn't benefiting from that. If you look at the details of the poll, there are some signs of hope there and signs of life, that a large number of the people who have switched away from the Liberal Democrats are now saying they don't know. They've not actually been so put off that they're going to vote Tory or that they're going to vote Labour, but they're unsure who they would vote for. And similarly, a lot of people who voted tactically for the party at the last general election are saying they wouldn't do that again at the moment. And I think those are two groups of people where there's a lot of scope to win them back over this coming year.
What about Nick Clegg himself? Because, I mean, he appears to have suffered, when you look at the polls and the reaction to him as a result of being Deputy Prime Minister. But there's no challenge to him, is there, really, within the party?
No, absolutely not. And I think one of the reasons is that there is a general agreement that the party should be in coalition. Liberal Democrat Voice regularly polls party members, and consistently the overwhelming majority say that it's right the party's in coalition and should continue in coalition. There's an awful lot of debate around individual items and how we go about being in coalition, but on the broad strategy, the party is actually very united.
Mark Pack, thank you very much.
Thank you.